They deliver you back to Smith, Jones, and Johnson. Name denotes possession. You want to be European? Go ahead, go serve Rome. Well, I want to be free because in the Missouri Territory, it's a free state. It ain't got nothing to do with your status is dead. What, we don't get it yet? This is what this is all about. See, so if you don't know yourself, or if you're mentally disconnected from your state, in a legal perspective, you don't have right of claim. You can't talk property when you don't own yourself. Slave can't own property. Right. See, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do me a UCC, see what I'm saying? And I'm going to secure my property. I'm going to be the secured holder in due course. Smith, Jones, and Johnson? No, you ain't. And it goes back to the same principle where a lot of Europeans are using uniform commercial codes, etc., setting up sovereignty groups, talking about they sovereign Christians. That's a political system. Ain't got nothing to do with spirituality. That judge is a Mason. He already knows. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? In secret, he got a Moorish fez. They just ruling over your land. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? They got to pin their tassel down, but they're all mystic prophets. They Renaissance men. They know that the Moors brought them out of darkness from the 13th to the 16th century.
All right, pin your tassel.
The 7 liberal arts.
Pin your tassel down. What does that mean?
Pin the top. Like if you see anybody in them lodges, their tassels are pinned.
And why is that?
See, brother, stand up
swings, right?
and roll your tassel.
Right. I know the brother's tassels be swinging, so that's why I
Yeah, because we're the heirs.
Okay, oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
So we can revolve around the sun.
The tassel pin down for them is because they sworn to secrets.
In other words, it's locked down.
Oh, okay, right, gotcha.
All right, can't talk.
Right.
Zip lip.
Right.
Do you understand?
Got it.
All right, now, see, so that's why when Martin started talking about the Great Seal,
Oh, he remembers. I was there. I was not a mark.
32-degree Mason, 33 really.
Okay.
You know, got a certificate with a holy name saying Assalamu Alaikum. That's why he started talking about the mountaintop. Well, you can't talk on the Don. You can't serve two masters. And overseers don't have retirement communities. Everybody knows. It's just they ain't really trying to liberate the followers. That's what the problem is. They enjoy all the benefits and the kickbacks.
But look what you got. You got garbage, and you think it's all right. This is what I understand.
Well, it's like this.
Things we could really have.
Well, some people are willing to give up their birthright for a few pieces of silver. And they ain't even allowed to have the silver or gold. They get slugs. I got paid. You tell them what? Some of them ain't been paid in a long time. But anyway, in support for everybody, so that our concepts are correct, right? This is Georgie, and you already know Chief Justice Muali suggested that he take Ben Franklin's place because they were all set as ministers plenipotentiary when the treaty was being formulated. And so Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson were set to be the first European praetors under the Republic after the formulation of the Ordinance of 1787. Then the adoption of the Constitution 1788 is what Obama's talking about. You understand what I'm saying to you? And then so he was an Army general. And because Ben Franklin claimed to be ill, George was suggested to be appointed. He wasn't elected. He was appointed to the palace on the word of Chief Justice Muali, who you may know as Ben Banneker. You understand? You see his Masonic garb? Now, this is from Documents of American History. It's not going to be in your ordinary school books. This is a controlled stock book. Not this particular lesson book, but I'm just saying the Documents of American History. That's for all you scholars. If y'all want to do some research, you're not going to easily find it. But for those who have access, this is where you'll find it. Now, letter from George Washington to Muhammad ibn Abdullah, Sultan of Morocco, City of New York, December 1, 1789. And as you all know, he was appointed to the palace April of that same year. So as you know, he's been in office about 7 months, right? All right. Now, since the date, great and magnanimous friend, since the date of the letter which the late Congress by their president addressed your Imperial Majesty, so you can see from the first line that he was not the first president, but you know that the masses are under the illusion that George Washington was the first president, because that's what they're taught. So immediately you can see that the masses are miseducated. So you already know they're out of sequence, out of time, out of harmony, and are not up with the rest of the civilized world. So there's no way that their children are going to compete with anybody. But they're going to tell you about Jesus, God, Allah, Moses, Muhammad, and they don't even know what's going on in front of them. This is the source of their injury and their sickness. Go ahead, my brother.
Excuse me. Can you bring that picture back? Can you take it up?
Oh, this is what?
Yeah. They found this in Akhenaten's grave in the second dynasty. This is the Mason, because we are Masons. That's what they built with. And the robe was found on him too. Everything you see here
all the garb
is all your stuff. They took it out of the grave in Kemet and they put it on themselves and they brought it here. All this belongs to you, even the steps here. That's your square.
Now the cubes or the checkered floor, that's Asar Aset, upper world, underworld. The day and the night. All right? Sunset, sunrise. Are we clear? Higher self, lower self. Duality. Feminine, masculine. Are we clear?
I see. I check it.
Now, since the date of the letter which the late Congress by their president addressed your Imperial Majesty, the United States of America, I thought proper to change their government and institute a new one agreeable to the Constitution, of which I have the honor herewith to enclose a copy. The time necessarily employed in the arduous task and the disarrangements occasioned by so great though peaceable revolution will apologize and account for your Majesty's not having received those regularly advised marks of attention from the United States which the friendship and magnanimity of your conduct toward them afforded reason to expect. United States having unanimously appointed me to supreme executive authority in this nation, your Majesty's letter of August the 17th, 1788, which by reason of the dissolution of the late government remained unanswered, has been delivered to me. I have also received the letters which your Imperial Majesty has been so kind as to write in favor of the United States to the Bashars of Tunis and Tripoli, and I present to you the sincere acknowledgments and thanks of the United States for this important mark of your friendship for them. We greatly regret the hostile disposition of those regencies toward this nation who have never injured them is not to be removed on terms of our power to comply with. Within our territories there are no mines, whether of gold or silver, and this young nation, just recovering from the waste and dissolution of a long war, have not as yet had time to acquire riches by agriculture and commerce, but our soil is bountiful and our people industrious, and we have reason to flatter ourselves that we shall gradually become useful to our friends. The encouragement with which your Majesty has been pleased generously to give to our commerce with your dominions. So where do you think that you're standing, you all?
Moorish dominions.
These are Moorish dominions. Now you understand the seals on the back of that note and why nobody speaks under the Great Seal? The punctuality with which you have caused the treaty with us to be observed. See what Obama was talking about when he went to Ecupta? And the just and generous measures taken in the case of Captain Proctor make a deep impression on the United States and confirm their respect for and attachment to your Imperial Majesty. So as you can see, the United States of America is an appendage of the Moroccan Empire, and you're the Masonic secret. It gives me great pleasure to have the opportunity of assuring your Majesty that while I remain at the head of this nation, I shall not cease to promote every measure that may conduce to the friendship and harmony which so happily subsists between your empire and them, and shall esteem myself happy in every occasion of convincing your majesty of the high sense which in common with the whole nation I entertain the magnanimity, wisdom, and benevolence of your majesty. May the Almighty bless your imperial majesty, our great and magnanimous friend, with his constant guidance and protection.